Wake up, Kate. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Twist Happy Hour, where cocktails, chaos, and conversations rule the world. Or rule supreme. I don't know what I was trying to say.
We are ruling the world.
It's been a day, so we're not going to make a cocktail. We're just going to drink wine, because that's...
What
Just
do
nice.
you got? What do you got?
I had a Sauvignon Blanc from Napa Valley. That's from the Griggish Hills Estate.
The
So it's a white.
Griggish?
Well, it's Grgich. I don't know how to pronounce that.
They sound lovely. I'm sure the Griggish family.
Well, it's their last name.
Sure.
Okay.
Of course it is.
So, yeah.
I already poured mine.
Oh, I didn't.
I'm drinking Apothic Red. I didn't even bring my bottle in. I'm keeping
Very
it.
nice.
I'm keeping it cheap and low key.
A friend of mine gave me this for my birthday, so I've been
Nice.
sipping through it.
Oh, I like it.
cocktails.
Is it like a fancy?
I do not mix wine and cocktails in the same day. So, like, if I'm sticking with something, because it just never ends well, just like bourbon, and then like switching to anything with grapefruit in it just has never ended well for me.
Interesting.
No. Yeah.
Like, it tastes weird or like wrong?
No, like my stomach is very upset that night.
I haven't
Like
had
if I had an old fashioned and then like some gin drink with grapefruit. Nope.
No.
Something about that doesn't.
I haven't had this kind of wine in a very long time. Normally, we tend to stick to the same brands and whatever. And somebody brought this over, so it's really cheap. Really keeping it cheap.
We have it in our
and I used to love this brand, but then I just took a sip and I was like, oh, this tastes different.
Has it been open a very long time?
No, I just opened it for the show. I opened it.
We're tastes are elevating. That's all.
It's like it tastes warm. I don't know if that. Now the wine sommeliers they're like, that's not a thing. But it tastes
I'm not a sommelier enough, and I can't drink red wine. So
tangy. I want to say
tangy. Oh, confuse too many tannins. I don't know. It's the microbials in red wine trigger my migraines, so I had to give that up.
Juicy.
Like 20 years ago.
I guess it's not as dry as the wine that I'm used to drinking, because my husband really loves very dry reds. But he is usually the person who buys the red wine, so I just drink whatever. Yeah. And I've gotten used to the dry red wines, and now this is not dry, so it's very juicy. Again, the sommeliers are going to come, but I don't know how else to describe it.
But we don't have that degree, so we let them tell.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sell this to anyone. I'm just
I like it or I don't. That's our sommelier references.
All right, what are we talking about today? What is our topic of discussion?
We have talked a lot of politics recently and a lot of things that are very stressful. And anybody who's been listening for a while and knows me knows I am a fan of escapism. And I wanted to talk about coping mechanisms for those of us in our 40s, we'll say 30s and 50s and 60s, whoever, who is once again living through a very chaotic time. How do you escape all of that, decompress without just drinking excessive amounts of
do these have to be like healthy escape?
Healthy. I mean, I wouldn't say so one of my big coping mechanisms, I love movies. I always have. My dad raised me on films. I've been critiquing films since I was little. He was a film major. And so I love horrible disaster films. Like, I'm talking 2012, Day After Tomorrow.
Okay, when you said horrible disaster film, I was like the movie was a disaster, or like...
No. Like, the more outlandish the...
Apocalyptic.
Okay. Apocalyptic, not dystopian. But, like, I want to watch the world end, and then I can just laugh because I'm like, that would never happen. Although I had to stop watching AI movies.
Maybe.
Because I kind of feel like they're starting to...
iRobot, you're like, let's just turn this off. Seems a little...
So my best friend calls me sometimes, and my other guilty pleasure is I'll just be like, I gotta call you back. I'm watching, like, dinosaurs are eating people right now. I have to pay attention. And she's just like, what? Because I'll watch all the Jurassic movies because I'm like, let's just bring the dinosaurs back. Kind of like the dire wolf. This is why the dire wolf, I'm like.
You love the Jurassic movies.
Oh my God. They're so bad.
Side note, listeners, Keryn made me feel bad that I hadn't seen all the Jurassic movies. And then I was like, I guess I'll just binge watch them. And I binge watched all of them. And it was so.
That's a lot. Well, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people are just like, I can't watch disaster films. I can't watch like any of the Jurassic movies. It stresses me out. And for me, it has a very opposite effect. I don't know what it does about
I
me.
didn't stress out about the Jurassic movies. I just was like, why do they keep doing this?
Oh yeah, no.
How many 7, 8 movies in or whatever? Like, no.
No one learned.
Stop it.
I mean, Scarlett Johansson wants to get eaten by monsters.
No. Just bring back like a sugar glider, like whatever the previous.
Anthony Bridgerton, he's in the new movie. I just realized.
Oh, really?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I'll watch it then. I saw
I'll
him dance and
I get to laugh. Like, I mean, I remember when the very first Jurassic Park came. We were camping in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and it came out in 1993.
Oh, God.
And like a bunch of us went to the movie theater like nearby, and then we came back and we were still camping, and like every bump, I was like,
okay, so wait, go back to 2012. Is that the one with John Cusack?
Yes, where John Cusack miraculously jumps a limousine across exploding sidewalks. And I mean, it's kind of like the Rock during San Andreas.
So I don't actually know how it ends.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, the reason why I firmly believe Dwayne The Rock Johnson could save us all is because of San Andreas. I'm like, well, if anybody's going to, like, crest that tidal wave, Dwayne The Rock Johnson in his super light boat while every other boat is falling back. He's the one that's going to make it.
If he is our saving grace, I'm reserved on that.
The people's eyebrow and the people's elbow? What?
Okay. At the end of 2012, did they live? Or did they reverse the negative effects of? Here's the thing.
No one ever reverses the effects of what happened.
That's the thing. Day after tomorrow, it's like, you're in the library. Good job, I guess. But like, how long is this gonna like? You're screwed.
But they say the good Bible.
But like if the whole planet goes down, unless you have a spaceship, you're SOL.
Well, that would be Don't Look Up. Did you watch that movie?
I love that movie. We
just watched it again, and I was just
so good.
And the fact that it came out during COVID and when an administrator was not recognizing how serious.
Don't Look Up.
Yeah. No. I'm like, this is so parallel to what's happening.
Jonah Hill in that movie was so good. I love that movie.
The Ariana Grande song, I still listen to it when she does like the conductor. And I'm just like, oh, all of this. Yes, this is like my anthem right now.
It's fine. Is this how we cope? We watch Doomsday? Like, maybe it'll all end with an asteroid.
I do. But I also feel like we were raised, like when we were in high school, a ton of these came out. Like Armageddon, Deep Impact.
Yes, all of that.
Independence Day, all that stuff came out. So I'm wondering how much that feeds into my, like, maybe I'm going back to my childlike self. When
I feel like our generation grew up in a very doomsday.
Well, Y2K was happening.
But also like, we were always taught that like maybe we'll catch on fire. Stop, drop, and roll is like a big thing. I thought that for sure adults catch on fire like a ton of time because why?
Yeah. Well,
why are they beating this into my head?
Yeah, you were gonna catch on fire. You were gonna get hit by a train because we all watched those public service announcements videos.
Yes,
like the school,
the after school, like the more you know.
Someone was always going to snatch you by giving you candy.
Yes.
Every time.
Candy is
there's
the way.
A reel, actually. There's an Instagram reel. I have to send it to you if I haven't already. But they're basically like, this is why kids born in the 80s are like so hyper paranoid all the time because this is what we were literally taught. Yeah. The gremlins are coming. Freddy's going to be in your dreams.
People are going to put me in a car and take me. Like, it wasn't even human trafficking then. It was just like, they're going to just take you and we'll never be able to find you, and that'll be that. And it's like, oh wow, okay, this is like.
Yeah, we didn't even know about the trafficking back then. We were just
heavy duty.
Don't get smashed.
These are the reasons we need to go.
I know. So, okay, so how do you cope when it's like,
I don't,
because I am much more into the news than I am. Like, you stalk it.
I was going to say that I didn't know if at the start of this recording we were going to talk about healthy ways to cope, because I can't speak to that.
My ways are healthy.
I don't have any ways to cope.
I also binge eat. I am of the belief that if you eat all the cookies, so there's no more cookies for you to eat tomorrow, obviously that's better.
You're on a diet then.
Exactly.
Like your future, you're helping your future self.
Exactly. It makes sense.
I think that is right, actually. So, for me, it's potato chips. Like, I have to clear this bag because if I don't, my future self will be eating them, and we can't have that for her.
No. Okay. Favorite potato chip though.
Favorite potato chip?
Yeah. Like what's
brand?
Flavor? Brand.
Jalapeno, hands down.
Who makes jalapeno potato chips?
Everyone.
Jalapeno.
If anyone is watching this podcast right now or listening to it, please, for the love of all that is holy, tell Keryn about the jalapeno potato chip. Everyone. Miss Vicky makes some. The Aldi generic brand, Clancy's. Miss Vicky, she's my girl. Clancy's makes them. Hers. Everybody makes jalapeno potato chips. Everybody. Lay's. Everybody.
Okay. So our favorite is her salt and vinegar chips.
I like those, but I can't eat a lot. It starts to
with a hoagie.
It attacks this area, and I get real sneezy. I can only
it clears you out. Like, you're puckering. My kids are like, this is insane. But I can't eat anybody else's salt and vinegar chips because I don't get that pucker. And I like it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we bring back, whenever we go back to Philly to visit family, I bring back bags of, like, salt and vinegar chips.
Really? Wow. Okay. I maybe need to revisit. You can eat,
you gotta have your hoagie and your salt and vinegar chips.
I see the hoagie with a salt and vinegar chip. And I think Philadelphians
they would understand.
Or Philadelphians would know. We're going to do an episode on accents, everyone. So just buckle up.
And Philadelphia Ebonics and words we didn't know we were mispronouncing.
Things that we did not know. Anyway, because Keryn and I, for anybody that doesn't know, because nobody knows our backstory, Keryn and I are both from the Philadelphia area, but did not know that about one another when we met.
Because I actually grew up in the city and she grew up in Delco, Delaware County, outside of Philadelphia.
Which I feel like Delco, Delco. But anyway, all right, going back to coping, we tend to get off topic. I have terrible ways of coping. I do not recommend. Don't try this at home. I drink that. Yeah. I'm learning how to drink better though, because Keryn's teaching me how to make all these cocktails. I troll TikTok. And by troll, I mean, like, I actually troll. Like, I'm not just scrolling. I'm looking for people to fight with. It's bad. And also, I have a Truth Social account. Yes, don't judge me. Thank you so much. I do it simply to troll it. I have a fake persona on Truth Social. I will not tell you their name. But I love to troll Truth Social. And I do it from a very specific MAGA mentality. I try to put myself in the mind of a MAGA. And then when our leader, our fearless leader, posts something, which is constantly, and people are kind of like, oh, I don't love that. Like, maybe we shouldn't do that or whatever, which a lot of his base is now kind of like, that might be a little too much. I am going full, and I'm like, why don't you trust him? Why? He is our number one savior in everything. And if he thinks we should throw the Constitution away completely, that's fine. And like, my True Social persona is just all in.
So
and people get because people start. Well, I originally got on there because I wanted to see what the other side was saying. And then people started to kind of kick back on some things that he would post, and they'd be like, that doesn't seem, I don't love that. And then I would be like, no, it has to be all or nothing. You love him or you hate him, and you're not a patriot if you disagree with anything he says. And the people who are not of that mindset are like, well, I mean, I think he's great, but like also maybe he shouldn't XYZ. And yeah, they get really, I like argue, I fight with them about their like loyalty, and I make them feel bad about not being loyal. Even the like crazy loyal ones, I'm like, you're not loyal enough, and I will double down on this. And I will be like, why do you, how dare you question anything? Anything. I 100% double down. It's great. It's my therapy.
So are you like making people want to extra think about what they're saying?
Yes. Yes.
Like, I don't get that.
I tend to be, so my goal is to
stream so they can see where they're
my goal is to be the mirror, right? Of like, I will say horrible, like things I would never say in real life, right? But I will say like, yes, export every single person who has ever come here who is not a white-born American citizen. Get them all out. And people are like, oh, well, no, that's not, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, no, it's what we're going to do. We're doing it.
What you voted for.
We picked it. This is why we have this man. And people are like, oh no, that's not what I wasn't trying to say that. And anything, when they're like, he posted about the suspension of habeas corpus, what we talked about on one of the shows. And people were like, well, do we really want to do that? And I was like, suspend it all. Let's get rid of everything. Burn it down. And people were like, well, I mean, maybe not the Constitution. And I'm my guy, who I am, is like, no, all of it gone. And so it starts to make, what I've seen weirdly is that it starts to make them question, why they are blindly following this person. Because
I can't see the absolute.
Right. And even like what has happened as of late with like a lot of people in his base didn't agree with the refugees from South Africa because it doesn't align with the concept of we're not taking in asylum seekers, right?
Yeah.
Because they're a drain on our taxes. So great. But then like, people were kind of kicking back on that, and they were like, I don't know if we should do this or whatever. And then if you throw in their face, no, it's fine because these are white people, then they're like, that's not, no. Because, you know what I mean? Like, people don't want to, there's a lot of people out there that are like, I don't want to be like overtly racist. So it doesn't feel
like a line, but we're only taking white South Africans.
Well,
that was
I think there are a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump that would feel really uncomfortable at a Proud Boys meeting,
Mm-hmm.
And when you throw that Proud Boys mentality out into the world that they live in, and you start saying things and commenting on their comments of things of that ilk, and it's like, this is what we wanted, this is why we chose this, blah, 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 blah. They're like, oh, I'm actually. They're looking for the exit. They're like, I have to go. You know what? I have to go. And I'm seeing more of that on True Social. And it's funny because there's a lot of people who are on the left that are like, why are you on Truth? I want to see what's going on. I want to see the mentality, because the thing that we're really going off on a tangent. I'm so sorry, everyone. But I really want to see how it goes down and where the shift is. Because I think for everyone who was in the center, for everyone who was on the left, it kind of went like, wait, why are you picking this person? And even now, like, okay, I picked this person, but like, why are we sticking with it and doubling down on it? And I think that is the hardest thing for, And I also, the other part of it is I like to ask the question. I like to ask people like, what is your favorite executive order that he signed?
Yeah.
What is your favorite policy? And how do you think it's going to make the America great again?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just smart. I mean, it's like good journalism we learned about in grad school was you got to look at both sides. Where is each person coming from? And maybe if our country looked at that more, we would get more done and we would find compromise because we'd say, this is why you voted for Donald Trump. This is what you were looking for. Okay, this is what we're looking for. How can we actually break that down so that it makes a functioning society, not just eliminates everything or excludes everybody, or just starts deleting all history, but only the DEI LGBTQ history.
Right.
Which I just heard on NPR when I was my kid a minute ago. They're like, oh, we're going to rename the Hardly Milk because we're trying to rebalance. I'm like, no, you're not. You're trying to erase history.
My mom said
you aren't balancing history.
My mom said that to me this morning. She's like, what's wrong with these people? I'm like, I don't know.
Right. Well, we have a huge mural because he's from here. And
right.
Yeah. But so speaking of coping and all of my anxiety.
By the way, none of this is coping. I'm just getting
through. I need to go cope with somebody getting eaten by a dinosaur, I think, after this conversation. So thank you, everybody, for joining us for the Twist Happy Hour.
We apologize for this episode.
Under 20 minutes for you. And if you want to talk to us more about it, throw your questions, comments down there in the comment section. Like, follow, subscribe, share with your friends, and join us next week for cocktails and conversation and lots more chaos. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.